Hello, and welcome to our series about climate change. On today's episode, we want to focus on the effects climate change has on our mental health. Both topics are surrounded by stigma or controversy and are affecting millions of people as we speak, so we figured, why not combine the two? With more than 40 million adults in the United States suffering from some form of mental illness and the rates of extreme weather events increasing, it's time to shine a light on these topics and how they're connected. As you may know, climate change is defined as a change in global or regional climate patterns, especially apparent from the mid-1900s onwards and due mostly to an increase in carbon dioxide in the atmosphere from the burning of fossil fuels. People often talk about the physical effects of climate change, rising sea levels, bigger storms, and increased disease rates. But what they don't talk about are the mental health effects. What effects do these small but pervasive changes to our environment and massive storm events have on our minds? It shouldn't surprise you to hear that they can cause depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder, aggression, violence, substance abuse, and suicide attempts. So let's tackle one of these, anxiety. Scientists have been warning about increased extreme weather events from climate change for years, and it certainly feels like it's starting to happen now when you turn on the news. People are understandably anxious. What will this do to me or my children? What does this mean for my livelihood, my home? How will we eat? This constant anxiety can produce depressive symptoms in a person, and if that depression becomes severe enough, they may attempt suicide. We saw this after Hurricane Katrina in 2005, where almost half the survivors developed an anxiety or a mood disorder. But what if you aren't ever in a Katrina, Sandy, Harvey, or Irene? You may still be suffering from an anxiety disorder related to climate change. New terms like solastalgia, or the psychological distress that comes from the degradation of one's home, and pre-traumatic stress disorder have been coined to describe this background fear and sense that something has gone wrong that many of us feel but don't act on. This may be a sensation many of you listening are familiar with, but everyone experiences it differently. For many, this anxiety is so great and so unmanageable that it simply turns into denial, which can perpetuate climate change. So what do? Luckily, we don't have to stand by and wait for the freight train to hit us. You can prevent and treat mental illness caused by climate change. First, if you're in the path of an extreme weather event and have the ability to evacuate, do it. Whether or not you successfully evacuate, seek mental health assistance for yourself and your family once you're safe. The rates of temporary mental health disorders for those who've been hit by a disaster are high, but they are temporary and they are treatable. Seeking help for mental health issues is often stigmatized, but you shouldn't have to suffer in silence or just suck it up. Second, take time to acknowledge the effects climate change may already be having on your mental health. If you feel overwhelmed by the issue, try to find a way to do something small in your community or day-to-day life to make a difference and help stop climate change or reduce its effects. Every little bit counts, and you'd be surprised how quickly the difference can stack up. You can learn more about climate change and its effects on mental health at www.ecoamerica.org/mental health.